Putting the Bhagavad Gita into practice. Today is day 28, and today I have chosen the 14th Shloka of the 17th chapter, which I will chant. Deva Dvija Guru Pragnya Pujanam Shaucham Arjavam Brahmacharyam Ahimsacha Shariram Tapa Uchyate. Worship of gods, the Brahmins, one's guru, elders, and great souls, purity, straightforwardness, continence, and non-violence. These are called penance of the body. If you remember yesterday, we talked about Bhagavan Krishna's 4-point program, which meant that firstly, our input affects our output. So if our input is Sattvic, our output will also be Sattvic. So the input consists of our ahar, our food of all the 5 senses, and the output would be Sattvic Yagna, which we did yesterday, Sattvic Tapas, and Sattvic Dan. So today we are going to talk about Sattvic Tapas. So what is tapas? Tapas or tapasya? It's austerities, penance. Generally what we understand by tapasya is that we should not eat food, we should not sleep on a bed, or we should sleep on a bed of nails. Some people do tapasya for standing for many days, pulling out body hair. There are so many forms of tapasya. And they're all valid for different reasons. But in this shlok, Bhagavan is not talking about self-denial, brutal self-denial. He is talking about avoiding all unnecessary wastage of energy. That energy which you can use, the saved energy, you can use for sadhanas, for self-inquiry, for spiritual evolution. So tapas is of 3 kinds: Shareerik, Mansik, and Vachik. Shareerik, you understand, the penance or tapasya of the body. Mansik, tapasya of the mind. And Vachik is tapasya of speech. So all these are different categories of tapasya, which we will go through. And in each category, so suppose it's Shareerik, there also Shareerik tapasya can be of 3 kinds: Sattvic, Rajasic, Tamasic. Mansik tapasya, tapasya of the mind, also can be Sattvic, Rajasic, and Tamasic. And Vachik tapasya can also be one of the 3 gunas. So today we are talking about Sattvic Shareerik Tapas, Sattvic tapasya of the body. So if I want to do Sattvic tapasya of body, I should remember these 5 points. First, with this body, do seva. And in what attitude should I be doing seva? With reverence, with devotion. Towards who? So here Bhagavan names 4 people or 4 kinds of categories in which to do worship with reverence. 1, the devas. We have already talked about the devas earlier. Foster the gods and gods will foster you. So those devas, why should we do seva of devas? Because they are representative of the higher ideals, the noble values, the higher energies that we want to invoke and absorb. So do worship, do seva of the devas. 2, of the Brahmins. Why? Because they are living examples of the ideals. 3, Do the seva of the Guru, because the Guru is teaching you how to live with those ideals, how to take them, how to channel them from the devas and how to live them. And finally, the noble elders, the people who are actually living like this and who are recommending these ideals to you. So all this is point number 1, where you do seva and develop an attitude of reverence and devotion towards these 4 categories of people. Second point, Bhagavan says, if you want to do Sattvic action, Sattvic Yagna or Sattvic Tapas, you should observe Shaucham. Shaucham means purity. Shaucham means cleanliness. Here is Shareerik, so cleanliness of the body and also cleanliness of your environment, of your, outward cleanliness in your house, in your society, in your, wherever you go, don't litter. These are simple points which we all know, common sense, but we hardly ever practice common sense. Point number 3, Arjavam. Arjavam means straightforwardness. Whatever you are thinking, you are saying, and you are acting. Often we do things differently from what we say. And we think differently from what we do, and we think differently also from what we say. So Bhagavan is saying, be straightforward. Your thoughts, your words, and your actions should be well integrated. You should not be talking round the bush and trying to confuse people. We call that jalebi talking. So round and round you go, just so that you somehow or the other manipulate what you want to say. So be straightforward. This also constitutes not just speaking, but also in action. It constitutes Shareerik Tapas. You can understand tapasya. It's difficult. No? Tapasya always denotes some difficulty or discomfort. And all these things are uncomfortable to do because we are not used to doing it. We are more used to rajasic and tamasic actions. 4th, brahmacharyam, continence. So the ideal is that we want to constantly be in remembrance of the divine, right? That is our goal. And if the body, sensations, longings, cravings, desires, kam, vasana, is continuously pulling at us, it is absolutely impossible to be thinking constantly of the divine. Therefore, brahmacharya or continence is one of the tapasyas, sattvic tapasyas of the body. And finally, ahimsa, non-violence, which means do not cause bodily harm to anyone. So if you follow these 5 points, once again, seva in reverence and devotion to the 4 categories, shaucham, arjavam, brahmacharya, ahimsa. If you follow these 5 principles, you will be practicing sattvic, shareerik, tapasya. Right? That will be one of the 3 things that you will do: sattvic yagna, sattvic tapasya, sattvic dan. 3 outputs which you'll be able to do if you have sattvic ahar or sattvic input. This is Bhagavan's 4-point program. Tomorrow we'll talk about dan.